Hi guys, I think by about now just about everyone's heard of the Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson and illustrated by Axel Scheffler. As I did that video recently, I'm not sure if you've seen it, of the Bedgebury Park where we went on the Gruffalo Trail. I thought it'd be good to do a little tutorial on drawing a Gruffalo and see how it goes. If it proves popular, then maybe I'll do some more tutorials on drawing characters. The good thing with the Gruffalo is there's a very unique description of the animal already, so I can go by that description, and I'm also going to do it in kind of my own style. So that's like I always say to kids, you can draw in your own style, draw any way you like. So it won't quite be like the Axel Scheffler version, it'll be my own version, but at least you could copy that or try your own version. So the description of the animal is: he has terrible tusks and terrible claws and terrible teeth in his terrible jaws. He has knobbly knees and turned out toes and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. And his eyes are orange, his tongue is black, and he has purple prickles all over his back. So if you get all those things, you're doing all right. Here goes. This is a tutorial in the way that you can just watch and see how I would draw the Gruffalo, maybe give you some ideas. Mostly it's using shapes and things like that, but generally you'll see how I go. Normally when I draw a character, I would start with the eyes, so let's do a couple of sort of half circles like that. And then a little line to make him look a bit angry, so you're cutting the circle off a little bit there in the middle. A little dot for an eye. Like I always say, everyone's got their own style of drawing, so you may draw this completely different to the way I've done it. And then the all-important poisonous wart on his nose. So another hex up, semicircle, not leave a bit off the circle, and then a couple of little lines at the bottom just to make it all warty. And the nostrils are just little sort of semicolon bits there. Okay, all important terrible tusks, so you want a sort of bent triangle one way and a bent triangle that way, and generally has a couple of these sort of rounded squares, so squares with a rounded edge. This is totally my own version, and then a line to finish off the lip there. Then underneath, what you can do on either side, draw a little semicircle like that and join it up in the middle. So there you go. I'll do a couple of lines there just to kind of give him a bit of a mouth. Now, what else have we got? So I'm using the book as reference, so bear with me. Let's have a think. Got the terrible teeth. I would then move on. Let's just carry on with the head for now. So in the cartoon he's got, also got the tongue, so the big black tongue will hang out over the edge there. I think I left that off on my last YouTube illustration, sorry about that. I had his mouth closed. And then he has a couple of horns, so in a similar position to these tusks. Even though the horns aren't mentioned in the book, it's a nice touch. Bit of furry hair on top. So squiggly lines basically, and a couple of those big sort of goat ears on the side with the bit inside like that. There we go. So you've got the head there. I don't know how much this looks like the book. So anyway, at the bottom of the horn there you wanted to kind of put a line just to finish it off as if it's coming out of his head. And then a bit more fur coming down the side there. Now, so you've got sort of a head. Now I'll move on to the, let's have a look, what will we do next? Do some terrible claws. So we'll do the claws first, just so we've got them in the right positions. So scatter some claws around. Try and make some facing some way, some facing the other. There we go. and then little semicircles to finish off the fingers there, going around his claws. Just little half sort of C marks, C-shaped marks. And you can make a bit of fur going over that way, a bit of fur going that way, just poke it under the tongue there to give him his arms. Okay, there's his furry arms. Okay, so now you've got the head and shoulders there. You want to make sure, because you can see a bit of shoulder there, you want to put some purple prickles just showing over the shoulder. I could have drawn him to the side, which he's often drawn like, but I like to see him from the front. Okay, so underneath this you want to, in between the two hands, do a sort of little furry mark just to show the top of his belly, and then you've got a furry underbelly, so opposite to that one, under there, go around like that. There we go. And what comes next is knobbly knees. So let's put some knobbly knees. I left this out on the illustration that I did before on the book, on the YouTube video, but sorry about that. So just wobbly sort of circles with little dots in to make them knobbly. And then I wouldn't do the rest of the leg yet, I'd put in the toes myself. So I put some claws first, same as you've done with those hands. Spread them out because they're turned out toes. Like that. And again, like the fingers, some little C marks on either side of those, just to make the toes. I appreciate you may have your own way of doing it, so you might find an easier way of drawing claws. And then just put some lines in between just to make that toe shapes. Now, once you've got that bit, all you need is to finish those legs off. So some furry lines coming down either side. There we go. And furry legs going up there to the middle. That's that. And then what I'll do, just some little touches, a couple of little lines to make some grass as he lives in the forest. There we go. A couple of little circles for some stones. So what I will do is I'll colour this on Photoshop. I'll put a couple of little lines on there just to give a bit of texture, little dots. Yeah, I do colouring on Photoshop, so I'm not appreciating that everyone's got Photoshop, so you may have your own way of doing it. You can use pencils, colour pencils are always good, especially watercolour pencils, brilliant. Or you can use paints, but you might want to do the ink afterwards if you use paints. And then put a couple of lines up the side there to give some texture to the teeth and the horns. And then on with the colouring.